guest today on Business Next is Joe Hessling, the CEO of 365 Retail Markets based in Troy, and they were named the Michigan 50 Companies to Watch list for 2014. Joe, tell us a bit about your background, how you came up with this idea. Do you come out of the IT industry or out of food marketing?
Yeah, basically the food market. I've had a long history of food service in my blood. My grandfather was one of the original Howard Johnson's franchises here in the Detroit area. My father grew up as what was called a jobber. He was a person that went out and sold food to restaurants. I picked up that habit from him shortly after I got old enough to drive, and had been in the food distribution and food restaurant and food service management business throughout my life. One thing that usually happens in that industry is that you do catering and you get to work with corporations, and corporations always have the need for some sort of food. And through that career, it was one thing that was very clear to me is that the big locations that you have, big corporate headquarters with 1,500, 2,000 people in them, those are very profitable. But these very small locations of 400 people, 300 persons, very hard to make money on from a food service and a restaurant management perspective. So when I saw this type of technology out in the marketplace in early 2006, I knew it was something that could help my business in the food service industry. I made a small investment into the technology. That tech company that I invested in got out of this business because they couldn't handle the food service business and the people within it, decided to stick with technology, and that's how I got involved. It was either jump in head first or lose my investment, and here I am 10 years later, almost, and now I am in the technology business.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned the Howard Johnson franchises. That's really a blast from the past. I can remember as a kid my parents taking us to Howard Johnson's, and man, I really loved those fried clam strips.
So did I. I was lucky enough to be able to get some of those sleeves of the cookies they put onto the sundaes. Now, that was a blast of the past for me. Thinking back of that and remembering those, I haven't been there in so long, but 13 in Woodward, that's where the first store was.
Well, now you're blasting into the future with this technological innovation for serving food in a variety of locations. What are some of the plans for the company as you continue to expand?
Well, we are growing so quickly, and at this point, we could sit back and rest on our heels and say we've done a good job, we've started a new market, and we are taking advantage of that and watching it grow. But it's just not good enough for us. We do feel that there's so much more opportunity within this marketplace, and being on the forefront of technology really gives us a foot forward that our competitors do not have. And since that's the case, we've started to go down the road primarily with mobile, and also what we call going downstream. There are potential for what was called a traditional micro market of about 75,000 in the United States. We think that there are probably 8,000 micro markets open in the United States, so there's plenty of room to grow there. But below the traditional mark, there are 175 to 275,000 locations that are potential, and we are putting the finishing touches on some technology that will truly be able to offer micro-market services to any office building, no matter where and when. So we think that we have the ability to really blow out this market even 5 to 10 times higher than what we had expected our market share to be. As well as we're also looking at other countries. We anticipate opening up our first micro market in the United Kingdom sometime this summer. And we have inquiries from as far away as Russia, Brazil, Peru. It never ends. When you got a good thing, the word spreads fast.
Joe, how can our listeners find out more about 365 Retail Markets?
It's very easy, www.365retailmarkets.com, And any type of search in Google on micro markets, you'll find us and other competitors out there. But the idea about a micro market is here to stay. And it's something that we're very happy to be a part of. And we feel that 365 is a name that people will start to know more and more as time goes by. And thanks to you and organizations like yours, we appreciate the attention.
My guest today has been Joseph Hessling. He is the CEO of 365 Retail Markets, named a Michigan 50 companies to watch for 2014. Joe, thanks a lot for being on the show.
Thank you, Mike.
You're listening to Business Next on the MichiganBusinessNetwork.com.